Christmas special. Hey, you're listening to Byzantian Brewscast Christmas special. Woo! On 102.5 AM, bringing you the best homebrews and facts and critical fumbles. Hello. It's a work in progress. Welcome. The Byzantian Brewscast.
I'm glad I didn't ask what that was going to be. I just thought, let's see where it's going with
Progress,
this.
work in progress. Welcome.
I'm glad I didn't ask what that was going to be. I just thought, yes, welcome to the this December edition of B&B, Thundercast, or whatever. Yes. It's been a strange week. I've been ill, but I've been busy. Had my first actual work shift today.
Hey, well done.
That was last time. Yeah, it's just convenient enough so we can actually do the podcast, which is nice of them.
Aww.
It's just Christmas shopping, so it's no time to think about much else. To be honest, it's one of those retail things. And the music, and everyone's so loud you can't hear the Christmas music, so it's quite good actually.
I enjoyed
them. What have you been up to this week?
So I enjoyed them going to that museum thing. What was it? Thursday? Wednesday?
Yes.
Days of the week blending each other.
Friday. Yes. There's the Lapworth Museum. We checked that out.
Yes.
Basically, there's a geology and fossil museum on the University of Birmingham campus. It was actually very good for a little small museum. Loads of bones, dinosaur bones.
Yes.
If you like little trilobites and ammonites, loads of those. If you like other strange assorted fossils and sulfur, that's what our friends does for some reason.
Yes.
Lots of sulfur, other minerals and stuff. Yeah, really cool little museum.
I think I most enjoyed, though the fossils are really cool, not only were some of like the little animations they'd done for some of the exhibits really cool, looking at like 3D model recreations of what some of the ancient creatures could have looked like, but also that is like massive just geology wall just full of various different types of rock, and I'm like, oh, you got your igneous rocks, you got your extrudus rocks, you got your other rocks. I used to know the types of rocks, but my brain is just like,
Granite.
Yeah.
That's my favourite.
But even like the non-gem ones, just like, that's granite and slate and diorite and andesite and stone.
They sort of just gave up with some of them, I feel, because they're like, it's calcite. Like calcite quartz.
There was a diamond, but it was like really, really tiny, and I was I can't make a pickaxe out of this.
There was a proper block of quartz that looked like a Final Fantasy save crystal. I was quite impressed with that one.
If ever I get like if that's something I would buy, if ever I had like silly money, like, mansion level money, if I had like a mansion, I would buy like a massive bit of quartz, have it like shaved and polished down, and have it like looking like a giant, like Eorzean save crystal in the middle of the lobby. Just bam. Giant quartz. Go save your game at it.
Just have it floating with anti-gravity.
Yeah. Or even like, is it FF14 warp crystal? I think it's the warp crystals, right? They have like this massive warp crystals in certain parts of the map. Yeah, aetheryte crystals. You've got like these absolutely fucking massive crystals. I think there's like what? Yeah, I'll put I'll put this image in the Discord in the images section. That's what I'm thinking. Just giant crystal. Where is it? Pixidvids. Yeah, this kind of crystal, like that crystal. I haven't actually played much Final Fantasy 14 lately, but that crystal.
Pretty close to that, to be fair.
Yeah. But
It's like
yeah,
someone like dipped it in beer. It's weird heat.
did beer. But yes, so in the museum, I got a lot of recording stuff done. I had some deliveries. I've got some tiny cars and stuff like that. I did a stream yesterday, so I actually did play some Minecraft again. Thank gooseness. But beyond
Got
that,
a
I
bit of
haven't.
that.
Yeah,
Was
I
indeed.
haven't done a huge amount. I
Hmm.
actually no, I tell a lie. I did do the artwork for my Magic the Gathering Birds deck because they in Bloomborough this year they brought out a new commander deck for birds. Well, for not necessarily specifically birds, but the one of the face cards for it is a better bird card for my birds deck than my existing commander. The commander is the one that puts you put in the 19 in the sort of separate zone, and you can play it if you got the mana for it from its command zone. Important card. Anyway, yes, they made a better one, so I finally got round to doing the custom artwork for it. So that's one thing I did this week.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. This cough is still sticking around. It's been a
What
right pain.
about yourself, other than being ill and Christmas shopping and yeah?
Well, Christmas shop hasn't started yet.
Ah,
I really should get on that.
ah.
Um, no. What I've been doing, I bought myself an early Christmas gift that I've been wanting since I was about 15
Mhm.
and never found a decent eBay seller that wasn't trying to scout me for it.
Oof.
One of those old miniatures from like the long out of production Imperial
Mhm.
Guard stuff I like so much.
Ah. I see.
780 on this site? Sod you. Never mind, I got my copy. I get some dollars though, so it's you know,
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
18. Yeah, this is one of the old. Back when the Imperial Guard used to have like metal, like all weird regiments in metal.
Mhm.
Tom does it raise well. They basically like what the what's the best way to describe them? They sort of like have an Afghan look to them.
Uh huh.
Um, but imagine a whole army. This was like one of their special character was this guy, which is this really cool captain with cool sunglasses.
Oh, I love guys with sunglasses. Oh, look at him.
Yeah,
Yeah. Damn, that's scabbard as well. That scabbard is ornate.
yeah. I am kind of worried about having to paint that because that's I've never seen a version of that where he doesn't have a really pretty scabbard.
Oh.
The really pretty model. I've always wanted one of them.
Also, I love
Um,
how like very 80s kind of space opera his gun looks.
oh god, yeah. There's nothing subtle about any of him. I do think that's just fun. It's called Captain Al Rahem, I think he's called.
Ah.
Um, because in the one of the older card codexes, every single regiment got a special character, and they had their own unique thing. And he was just really good at making the guardsmen be fast and do stuff fast.
Interesting.
Because the whole thing is like they are desert raiders, so
Mm-hmm.
he just makes them really good at that. And he has a really cool sword. It basically has a whole list of just really good equipment.
Mm-hmm.
You think that includes his sunglasses that give him a like a ward save.
King magical sunglasses. Well, I said it's 40k, so not magical sunglasses, but you know,
He
special.
just gets really cool sunglasses, and they thought that was worth giving him another bonus.
Yeah, why
Mm.
not? Let's just throw a bonus at him. He gets a bonus to his ward
Yeah, why
save
not?
because
He's
of
cool.
special glasses.
He's just a cool Afghan Arab looking guy. I think he's kind of great. Um, kind of yeah. I'll venture around to painting him because he's been on my list a very long time.
Hmm.
Um,
I also
so
got
what's that? What
myself
have been?
a early Christmas gift, sort of, because it was like half off. So it was like half price. It was like from £10 down to 5, which is set 75359, which is Ahsoka's Clone Trooper Battle Pack. I'm assuming that these weren't exactly flying off the shelves because the Ahsoka series did so bloody terribly. But I will take,
Odd.
every cloud has a silver lining, as they say. So I guess this series being terrible made it so that this like clone trooper battle pack was a fiver. You get 4 figures. Like you get a captain and then three 3 second clone troopers, which you could use outside of the Ahsoka stuff. You could put them in just standard Clone Wars stuff because they were probably around at that time, right? Just four troopers, a little vehicle, and a little turret for like £5. I'll take that. It was the last one on the shelf too. Probably because it was reduced. But I was like, yes, I'll have a bit of that.
So let's have a look. Your photos?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's all.
75359. I go Star Wars. It's a pretty basic thing. I'm not actually sure what the vehicle is based on. I don't. It looks like a very tiny MTT. Is it not an MTT? Is it the what do they call it? I can't remember the name of it. But they were used a lot in like the prequel era. I don't. I'm not a big fan of this new type of stud shooter, but
Let's have a look. That's a nice small picture. Just open in browser. Oh, that's no bigger.
oh, hang on a minute. If I get a bigger picture, bruh. Yeah, I should. I have that habit where I like copy it from like the thumbnail on Google Images instead of
I've
the
done that
actual
several times.
fucking thing.
Fine.
Brilliant. There you go. Better image.
Okay, so you get like a few little clone lads,
Yeah.
and
I think the only difference between the one is just he has a visor and that and not and no jetpack and that's it.
captains get visors. So that works.
I guess. To be fair, I think that's how they've done it in Clone Wars stuff in the past. There's probably like some lore reason for it. But yeah, I
It's
just
cool.
thought nice.
Do you know what that weirdly reminds me of? I don't know if you ever had these, but I had some actually rather good bootleg Lego sets growing up called
Hmm.
these were not drag. I think it was literally just called Dragons. You know.
Oh, that would have been Mega Bloks dragons, right?
Yes,
I've
I had a
actually
lot of them.
I've got a big like druid dragon actually. I found it at the car boot
And I
sale for like
remember
50p.
yeah, there was one way I would say they were actually kind of better than Legos in
Yeah.
the one way magnetic stuff.
Hmm. I was gonna say articulation, but yeah.
Trains, the props were amazing with that. There were like
Yeah.
basically there were a load of like fantasy warrior faction people going about because
Hmm.
it's Lego or Mega Blocks or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, the dragons were cool too,
Yeah. Because
but certain
at
pieces,
that
yeah.
time, I
Mhm.
think at that era when Dragon's coming out with Mega Bloks, I think it was pre Vikings in Lego. So the only dragons you really had were
Oh,
those really flat Welsh dragons with the tiny little arms that look
I
like
know the
monarch
ones.
raptors
Yeah,
and like the tiny little wings. So they had those guys had like rotating arms and
had flapping
rubbery
wings and
wings
stuff.
that could actually flap
The
and shit. Yeah.
saddles you could. But remember, what I really remember was some of the props were great because they'd have like magnetic bits.
Hmm.
There was one set which had like a giant crane sort of arrangement.
Hmm.
It's sort of, I think they were like the not quite orcs for the faction. They had um, cages and like a huge crane with a magnet bit at the bottom. But the crystals that you could put on the dragon backs, remember there were little like openings in the actual because it's a rather than assemble like the matte part of the diorama. They'd have like little raised bits with a magnet bit where you clearly put your crystal, and then it would open
Hmm.
up a little. It would move a little plastic men here, and then there'd be treasure in it or something,
Yeah.
or it would like make a bridge go down or something. There'd be like a weird interactive bit to it. That was very. I
Hmm.
remember that being pretty fun.
Yeah, I remember that era of Mega Bloks quite fondly because they also had the skate line, which was kind of ahead of its time. Now Lego
Crystal Wars.
has
Oh no,
Lego has like skateboard stuff, but back in the day, Mega Bloks were kind of ahead of the curve on that with their skate park set series. And they also had something called Alien Agency, which was like very much Men in Black, which was really cool.
oh my god, I had that. Okay, this is one of the earliest sets I remember actually. That's taking me back. And again, it's a nice small image. It's very nice. Um, yeah, it's really they didn't look quite as good on the ones in the box, but
Hmm.
oh wow, Well, that guy, I remember him. He was cool. All the dragons looked kind of distinct as well, so they weren't the same kind of dragon.
Mm.
So he had some really interesting looking little
I
minis.
think some of the bigger sets had like massive dragons as well. Obviously, they're more expensive, but they had like really big
Oh, they
ones.
did. I sold them all away, gave them away to Carbuzo when I was like 16 odd. I had a pretty sizable collection.
Hmm.
Um,
Another cool thing was
yeah,
they.
I remember these sets. These were very cool. They used to have like little mini sets as well, where it'd be like like a few orcs, maybe a
Mm.
boat.
Yeah, they had the little
That's just,
platform sets as well. You had the little platforms from
yeah.
like bits of ruins and a guy. I think I've still got some of those like island raised pieces somewhere. Because weirdly enough, they kept that system sort of going into the Halo stuff that they now do. They still do that same kind of platform, albeit a bit more advanced version in Halo.
That's cool.
But what else
I
was there?
don't know why I got into those. I just mean those are really cool little
Yeah.
sets of toys, really.
And they also
The
did, of
catapult as well.
course. Yeah, they also did, of course, another line. They did the fucking Ninja Storm stuff as well. I had some of that.
All right.
Power Rangers Ninja Storm. But yeah, I had a bunch of dragons. I still got some of them somewhere. One of them's in my like Dungeons and Dragons themed cabinet at the moment, along with my other dragon, my actual Lego dragon in the Ninjago cabinet above it, and amongst other things. But yeah, I still got a few somewhere lying about. But yeah, so I got myself a little thing, a little Lego set thing. Thought it was
It's
pretty
nice.
cool. And what else did I pick up while I was there? Nothing really.
It's making me want to go and play the mask opening simulator again.
Ah,
Sometimes I'll do for a minute or two.
hmm.
It's so much fun for free. Just like, ooh. Oh, what we got first? We could wish
So,
about Lego
how
and stuff.
about we get into our tabletop book club for the week? We don't necessarily do this every
Yeah.
week, but I have got a Christmas special, so
Well, that's good. We might as well lead then because I don't think mine's particularly Christmassy.
okay.
But
So this is the Pocket Workshop one I was talking about months ago that I was going to save. This is
yep.
Winterfest. So it's their little
Ooh.
like Christmas special adventure. To us the night before Winterfest. So it takes you through a little adventure. So after a long day's travels, the sleepy village of actually wait no. What's the background? Here we go. Fun and light-hearted adventure for 1 to 5 players plus the GM. There's a little bit of combat, but it's mostly about finding fun, novel ways to solve the predicaments the party end up in. Included with the adventure is a big appendix, containing a dozen brand new magical festive gifts. So there's some magic items in there. While lots of celebrations are Christmas themed, there's no long religious affiliation, which is fine. There's an opportunity at the end to give each PC their own special Winterfest gift. So think of a good gift for each PC performing adventure. Adventure takes over one evening, so it's a one. It's designed to be a one shot, which kind of makes sense. We don't anticipate the combat bats included will especially deadly. Even so, death's part of the adventure experience. Blah blah blah. Yep, yep, yep. So festive stops get into trouble. The PC does die, and they want to take. I kind of wanted like an overview of what happened. What is going on. So, after a long day's travel to the sleepy village of Thornley, we find our heroes spread across a pair of comfortable couches in the middle of the Mistletoe Inn. They are staying here to take part in the celebratory Winterfest, have arrived the evening before the big day, smell of spiced ale, setting the scene. So yeah, it's kind of like a festival thing, but there's a sinister plot going on in the background, and there's some cool little things. There's a clockwork goblin stat block, and there's this clockwork goblin that looks a bit like the Nutcracker, which is quite cute.
That's the thing.
Santa looks tied up, literally. That's quite funny. It's the classic we have to save Christmas adventure, basically.
How many times does Santa have to get kidnapped before, like in fiction?
But they've got a lovely map
What
of
habit?
Thornley, much like they did in the goose stuff for the other village. They've got a lovely map, lovely winter village map. They've got spider bombs, Chestnut the Mastiff, so a doggo.
Oh,
It wouldn't be a
just
Christmas
a
story
regular
without a
dog.
dog. Yeah, it's just a dog, but it's named Chestnut.
Okay.
We've got the Aurora Borealis this time of day. Yes. And
It's
yeah,
part of the
I'm gonna
plane.
build a snowman. Someone can actually build a snowman. There's actually like a skill check to build a snowman. I think that's adorable.
And it's the unique skill. That'd be quite funny.
Oh, it does like so. After being left a minute, the magical light for the world bring the snow creature to life. Oh, so there's like a bit of like a the snowman reference as well. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's an
till the Ryan
adventure. You
brew.
save Christmas, and then you do good thing, and then you get gifts, and then we've got
Oh,
magical items. We've got
it's
the
wholesome.
snow globe of Thornley.
Right?
When the snow globe is shaken, a tiny flurry of snow falls down on the actual village. Oh, the tiny flurry of snow falls down over the actual village. If shaken goes for 10 minutes, the area becomes obscured. If shaken an hour, the area goes dim with terrain for 1 day. Holy, wait a minute! You mean like you have like localized weather thing? It's like a magical item that affects this one specific part of the world. Yeah, you shake the snow globe, it will snow there, no matter what time of bloody year it will, no matter what time of year it is. Let it snow, let it snow. Yes, too much snow. Stop shaking the snow globe. We got this frosty sack full of snowballs.
Ooh.
The snowballs deal
Okay.
0 damage if thrown. Lovely.
You
10
you
perfectly
have them.
formed, just 10 perfectly formed snowballs in the bag. It's like kind of like a bag of holding, but for like snowballs. They just the
It's
bag is
only
refilled
10.
after a long rest. Yeah, but you get like 10 snowballs a day. Imagine just like you managed to throw a snowball on a lich just to confuse the fuck out of them. The
Yeah, that
never-ending
would.
oh, the never-ending gift. Each subsequent wrap present is wrapped in a different style, different paper. Okay. Oh, so you have to. It's like pass the parcel just infinitely.
That's the parcel.
If cut through, it explodes in a cloud of confetti. I love that. I
Oh,
love how it's rare despite
I'm
like being
cheap.
a completely useless object. It's rare though, but it's
Yeah.
completely useless.
I love that
Magic.
even in D&D, you're not
Yeah.
allowed to cheat at past the parcel.
Yeah. Yeah. Magic 8 ball. First time each day someone shakes it and asks it a question about the future, it will respond with a yes, no, maybe. The answer is probably correct. So I like that. Actual magic 8 ball that might be a magic 8 ball. Chimney rope. Chanted rope was designed by
Okay.
St. Nicholas, to allow ease of transport in and out of homes. It's designed, while in a fireplace, teleports the user to the top of the chimney, or vice versa. Has 2 charges, after which it becomes a mundane rope. Aw, just like, yeah. I feel like a rogue would absolutely misuse that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that going wrong.
Warning, this item will activate even if the fireplace is still burning. If so, the user will take 2d4 fire damage. It will not activate if the fireplace is blocked or otherwise occupied. Okay. Um, Incredibly thick socks. These extremely thick woolen socks keep you toasty warm, but they're not too easy to wear. They take 10 minutes to take on or put off. Sorry, put on or take off. While worn, these socks provide resistance to cold damage from all sources. No, we don't know how either. See, that's useful. Resistance to cold damage on some nice socks.
That seems sort of realistic.
Rude Dolph's nose. No, not Rudolph's nose. Rude Dolph's nose.
Rudolph.
This large bauble-like decoration is modeled on the old tale of Dwarf, a grumpy alcoholic dwarf with a nose so red that it could be seen for miles around. If worn over the nose and squeezed, it emits bright light as if from the cantrip light. Lovely. There are 4 other items, but I won't spoil them all because, you know. And oh, there's 5 because there's also holiday crackers. You get like a party hat, a mundane trinket of no value. The pie hat gives you charisma, but only for 10 minutes, and then it dissolves into ash. We've got a slip of paper containing a random cracker joke. Yes, there is a D20 table for the cracker joke.
I think that the cracker joke should cause sanity.
Oh no, it causes psychic damage.
That's a good. That's
Anyone
a
who
good.
hears
It's
one
a
of the
good try.
cracker jokes must succeed a DC 12 Wisdom saving throw. Don't default psychic damage. I
Funny.
love that. Uh, so what we got here? What have we got here? Did you hear about the confectioner who played D&D? He kept fudging his
No.
rolls
They're bad as
and
real
other
ones.
such silly jokes. But yeah, that's Winterfest. I thought it was cute. It's interesting.
It is
It's
actually very cute.
festive. and it's just a little something for Christmas, And it is for 5e. I should clarify, it is specifically for 5e. If that wasn't clear. What do you got?
I have got a really interesting little one. This is one of my Comic Con buys
Ooh.
was this one a solo play for fifth edition one, which I think
Uh-huh.
was great for really any religious character. But if you want to test out how I guess warlock, cleric, paladin, any of those would work, I think it's a really good way to just test out a character with that before ever making it see a table. Help even worse as a backstory. It's
Uh-huh.
called We Were Once Gods. And it's
Ooh.
rather than a fixed scenario, it's sort of like a bit. It's got a bit of roguelite elements to it, where you are trying to find 5 holy relics, artifacts to the god you're worshipping, and it
Mm-hmm.
happens to be in a swamp, which is very hard to navigate.
Makes sense.
Um, it can be done just completely solo, so I think that's quite
Oh.
neat. I've given it a run through just to see how it goes. The main change is that when combat does happen or encounters do happen, it's like 1 or 2 monsters at a time, not like a whole mob as you might expect for a whole party.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something you got to think about because you'll find out very quickly D&D combat does not go great if you are one person against many. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, if you're gonna do that, but it's really good because I've tried it for a cleric character just to see if that would qualify as their backstory, and it kind of does. It just kind of
Oh.
works.
Hmm.
It's a really interesting attempt at a little mini game in D&D. It's solo play. You could upscale it for more players, sure, but it's written for solo play, and I think it's a really good uh, inbuilt religious character backstory generator. To be honest, it doesn't specify what the god is. You can make up the god
Ooh.
or use the
Interesting.
what. There's a few suggestions in the start of the actual thing,
Uh-huh.
depending on the element and stuff. But there's no reason you say you can't just. Let's say you worship an obscure god, and that's how you got your powers or something, or first communion with your god, and say, "Oh, that's my backstory," because you can technically say you've played
Yeah.
it then. I think it's a really cool idea. If I see them in another con, I will get another one of their books for £4 if they're still £4. Um, yeah, that's called We Were Once Gods. I really rate it. It does take too long to play as well if you get lucky.
Mm-hmm.
If not, it's a bit of a road-like, but that's fine. Um, yeah, another great book.
Hey. So, let's go to Critical Fumble next, shall we? I haven't updated the blinking screen. I've done all this like little logos and things. I keep forgetting to use them. There we go. Yeah, Critical Fumble. What we got this week?
What have I got this week? Um, it- there is. Did I mention the? Have I mentioned the new Lord of the Rings movie thing that came out and doing so hot?
I can't remember if you did. I don't think you did.
Pretend they didn't. So basically, War of the Rohirrim came out, and it reviewed kind of not great.
Uh huh.
Haven't seen it, but so okay. How attached are you to the Lord of the Rings films
Eh.
when
I
they
haven't.
came out?
I
Because I
thought
was
they were all right. I
there
thought
at
they
the
were all
time.
right.
I was there at the time. They were huge, so I was kind of always been dyed in the wool. So basically, what they tried to do is a new movie based on 2 pages of Tolkien's notes about an age that doesn't even happen in the Lord of the Rings books.
Ha.
Tolkien made notes about everything.
Right.
It's one of those. They've taken some back notes and said we can stretch this into a movie. Um,
Okay. A little
the real
weird.
story is quite good. It's
Mhm.
basically how Rohan was narrowly not conquered because their king was kind of a hard case, and there was a really crap winter. Um, really fun story. But what they've done is rather than just tell it and stretch it out as the book wrote it, they 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 included the King Helm, who was the main guy in the first place. They made the main character his daughter Hera, who is not even appearing in the books, like at all, not even mentioned.
Oh.
Like it's mentioned he had a daughter,
Uh-huh.
but she's not named. So they've given a non-named character a name just to make her the hero of the whole story. But the villain's name's the same. His name's Wolf with a U,
Right.
and he's some um basically in Rohan you got like the Rohirrim who are like the people that normally live there, and the Dunlendings they're barbarian hill people that argue they've lived there long. The Rohirrim they kind of hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the whole thing went down because of a really bad arranged marriage that went horribly, horribly wrong, and that there was a big old war over that. But the film kind of makes it weird by making this Hera character super important when she was barely mentioned, uh, killing off King Helm in a way he doesn't quite end up going, which is a bit strange.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of making her a bit too good at everything, and throwing in a
Yeah.
load of other references from the Lord of the Rings movies that don't make sense if you know Lord of the Rings. It's like
So why
why
is
is
this
that there?
why is this here? Yeah.
It's that, and it's apparently got 2 hours long, which people are saying is it's just a bit too long. And it's also animated in that weird. It's animated in the style of an anime, but it's not really an anime. You know what I mean?
Oh. Like
It was. I think that
like a
so.
Ruby
It's a
like.
strange choice. No, it is at least hand drawn, but it's quite choppy,
Ah,
which is a
right.
bit of a shame. So it's strange decisions all around, really. But that's not gone well. Um,
I can
because
imagine.
people who like the Lord of the Rings films like me went to go see it. I didn't go see it, but people who like the films as I do went to see it. And went. It doesn't feel very Tolkien-y. Quite a
Yeah.
bit of modern swearing in it, and it's a which not prude, but Tolkien uses a very specific type of English on his characters. Doesn't
Yeah.
really work for modern language. Um, he also said it's his. The reviews keeps constantly saying she's quite girl bossy, which is a bit like, oh dear. I think we're a bit tired of that at this point. At least what people
Mm-hmm.
are. That's a small dog at the door.
Oh,
Um,
pupper.
I know. Sorry. My brother's dog. We're a little dog sitting. He's at the door, checking in on me. Um, and it just seemed a bit. The other thing's a bit. It's quite generic as well.
Yeah.
Yes, it just Games Workshop has done a set of it, which is honestly one of the better things to actually come out of it.
Hmm.
That will at least make money because I'll get an image of it up because it's actually quite good. If you ignore the source material
Yeah.
for it, it's
Again,
actually very.
it's like the Lego thing that I picked up. The thing that it comes from, or at least the
Oh
reason
yeah,
why it's the
ironically,
really
yeah.
shit. The actual product, pretty good.
Yes. Let's have a look. Yeah. So what it does is quite important because it's sort of like a soft relaunch of the Lord of the Rings range for Games Workshop because it's been ages since anything happened with the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So those old Warriors of Rohan, they're updating them
Yes.
just for this set. So that's kind of huge. But the model's actually really quite nice because it's Games Workshop. They don't cheap out on those.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the only thing that is really making me laugh a bit about the initial set, they had to recently announced the new model for it, which is Hera. She does have a model now,
Mm-hmm.
or soon to have one. Um, but Hera does not appear in the main set.
Oh.
I think it's quite funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I wonder if it was someone at Games Workshop going, right, do we try and make this model really, really pop or pop and stand out now, or do we just put it in or just put it in the main box and hope that this character goes down really well?
So like, nah,
It
nah.
it does feel as though they wanted to. Yeah, we want to make a licensed product for it, but we want to make sure it suits us as well. So I
Yeah.
think there's some type. I think they deliberately didn't include her. This is complete like speculation on my part,
Hmm.
but it would make sense if that was what was the main concern here, given how well the movie went down. It might be like do you see the Hobbit films at all?
I did. I watched all of them in the cinema with my dad.
Okay. Yeah. Remember was that elf Toriel,
Uh-huh.
the the female elf they added just for the movies?
Yep.
I wonder if they wanted to avoid another Toriel situation,
Yeah.
which I don't blame them. Is that sometimes that got actually toxic, and sometimes that was like that's a
Yeah.
little girl bossy,
So
which even
so
then was a bit old.
yeah, it was weird because I watched the movies of that before I read the book, and I was like reading the book. I was like, where is this character? When does she show up?
Where
Was
is
she?
she?
Where's she in the
Well,
book?
like a dwarf elf romance, which
Yeah.
isn't there because it's not in the books. Yeah, I wonder if he wanted to avoid a second round of that. The only thing I don't like the um about this set is it's rather means I gonna have to unless I wanted to collect more of them purely for my own self interest. It officially, at least for tournament play, removes one of the armies I was really wanting to play.
Oh. Mm.
So I think I put a picture. Remember those barbarian guys with the big axes and the chain shirts and stuff.
Yes.
Those are done lendings, like the original done
Ah.
lendings.
Mm.
They're very cool, and I think the models are great, even if they are from 2006. But now because this new box has come out,
Ah.
they too have got a brand new set of models,
Mm.
and because of that, that means that uh, I that's no longer tournament legal. At least
No.
an official tournament, which is really annoying because I saw a video from it from a guy who said he'd literally dropped 400, 500 quid into getting an army of them because they were cool
Yeah.
and maybe wanted to them to a tournament, and then now he kind of can't
This is why
because
I'm like,
the new. Yeah.
I don't like. This is one of the few things one of the main things I don't like about was not was guys Games Workshop being like, yeah, you can't use your old minis. Like, bro, why the fuck not? Like, and I know I'm going like card games is not really quite the same as miniatures, but I could use in
It's
theory
similar enough.
I could use a Swords to Plowshares from like 30 years ago in like modern, or I guess it's now in standard. I could run a Swords to Plowshare from 30 years ago in standard if I wanted to, because they don't like, it's the card's too old, you can't use it. But it's a card that's currently legal, or it's an army that's currently legal. Why can't I use
It's
the
a
old
card. I have the
fucking
card though.
miniatures? I bought these from you. Why don't
You
I?
sold them to
Yeah,
me.
it's like, why
Yeah.
don't these come with like a lifetime guarantee that if their armies are ever legal in a format, I can use them?
Yes, it's so it is good that the Rohirrim got a new set of models, and they are very nice.
Yeah.
Uh, these are the new replacements for the barbarian lads I like so much, and they are pretty good. Uh, where it's fair, where it's to be completely fair,
Hmm.
but I do kind of miss the chainmail. I like that they looked like they looked like actual Vikings.
Hmm.
I do think that's sort of lost a little bit with the new guys because now they're proper hill people,
Uh huh. Hmm.
which is fine. They are literally hill people, but looked a bit more protected before. Now they're just like angry lads from the hills.
Lads from the hills.
So on one hand, great new Lord of the Rings stuff for Games Workshop. On the
Hmm.
other hand, they kind of took out some of my favorite units from the official play,
Hmm.
which is making me kind of sad already because I just came into enough money to get a box of 12 of them.
Yeah.
And I was looking forward to using them for stuff, which I still will. I'll find a home for them, but
Hmm.
just quite sad, really.
I suppose it depends on how much tournament play you're actually planning on doing, I suppose.
Oh, that is also it. But I know that some people get really into the tournament play because of the army. Like, oh, that looks
Yeah.
cool. I want to take that to yeah. Yeah, it's a shame, really. But that's yes. Order of Hiram, mixed success. I think Games Workshop's going to do fantastic off it.
Hmm.
And the director of War of the Rohirrim is going to absolutely hate everybody else making more money off it than they do.
Well, yeah. So my
Anything you found
critical.
this week?
So I do have a small thing, and it's technically a thing that I haven't really sort of talked about yet until now. It's Konami this week. I have a bit of a gripe with Konami.
Oh,
It's a Mastodon related thing, not a
what
paper
they
thing.
done?
So, as you might
Oh,
know, if you've been playing Mastodon for anything more than 20 seconds lately, obviously they've got a few packs out at the moment that have alternate art versions of certain cards, particularly IP Masquerena and the Live Twins Kisa Keel and Lila. You know, because women, basically.
hmm.
But they're ultra rares, despite the fact that some of the cards are actually super rares in other sets. And you can't. My gripe isn't that they've been upshifted in rarity. My gripe is that you can't craft them. So you have to pull them from the packs. So what happens, Konami,
Oh
because these are a limited
no.
time pack, what happens 3 months down the line? I get it. I get it that you can get the normal versions, right? I get it. But look, this isn't paper. You can't just go on the secondary market and buy one. So you need to make sure they've routinely become available if you're going to have Blinking alternate arts. And you easily could have gone ahead and
That's
said
hmm.
something along the lines of, okay, you can craft these, but it's going to cost 3 times the amount of ultra rare gems or something like that. Or something like an event gem that you could get from another event. So that, you might be like, oh, super, really hard to get rare gems. So at least there's an other way to get them when the event ends, when the pack no longer becomes available. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking stuff like that. You could take a leaf from Capcom and do what the Monster Hunter team does when their events are over. Will have a dude in the team. This is the offline game. He'll be just there in the village or the offline hunting hall or whatever. You could just download the extra quests if you want them.
yeah.
And you could just play them.
I It sounds dumb. I wouldn't even mind if there was a fucking like way of getting them with actual money. If it was like a small amount of event gems, as long as there was a way of getting it outside the fucking event.
Yeah, that's also fair. Yeah.
The one time I'll
Oh
defend
dear.
microtransactions when it's like something that's an event thing that somebody might have missed. Like,
That does sound a bit like I don't know if you played Resident Evil 5.
no. I know of it slightly, but no.
I played a lot of that game when it was sort of newish,
Mm.
and there was an infamous item where, but you could you could throw eggs at enemies. Sometimes it would stagger them.
Uh huh.
They were
Egg.
literally chicken eggs. You could just toss them,
Egg.
um, or you could eat them for health. You know, for
Mm.
health recovery. There was a I don't know where you found it, but there was supposed to be a golden egg.
Okay.
Um, the golden egg was basically an infinite item. You could use it as many times as you wanted. It would never leave,
Oh no. Mm.
which was great. Basically, you had infinite healing to full whenever you wanted. So it's quite good.
Mm.
Um, and the way the co-op worked in that is if somebody dropped out while they were co-oping with you,
Uh huh.
their their like players were still their characters were still in the game with all their gear. So there was nothing saying you can just take some of their stuff which is a copy of their stuff, by the
A
way.
duplicate, yeah,
They keep their
duplicating
stuff.
glitch.
They just duplicate their stuff. So you take their stuff, and I was lucky enough to get one of those eggs through some random player and go, I'll take this. This is all right. And I dare not remove that save file because I'm never going to run into another chance like that again.
Hmm. Just egg.
Egg. What's up? What have I got up
So,
next?
actually, on that subject, there is also another small critical. It's not really a recent critical fumble, I guess critical fumbles of
Okay.
history or something. Do you remember Battle Block Arena? That weird, like, rogue, semi-rogue, well,
Want
not
to
rogue,
say?
like,
Let me
the
double check it.
platformer. Battle Block. No, Battle Block Theatre. Battle Block Theatre. Sorry, not Battle Block Arena. Battle Block Theatre.
It doesn't ring a bell, but I will have a look and see. Oh yes, I do. Yeah. What
So,
about it?
there's an achievement in that called Touch the Chicken. It's not weird. It's not weird, but obviously because the devs are like big chicken games, whatever. The only way you could get it is by playing with a player who was a dev or who already had the achievement. Now, I grant you that for a
Oh my
while that would
god.
have been quite the easy achievement to get if you're playing online a lot. Nowadays, on the other hand, borderline fucking impossible.
I wonder. There's got to be. That's a 1% one, right? That some people have.
Probably, yeah. But it's like it's one of them. It's like that probably like 50% of players have it or whatever. But like because it's an older game at this point, I don't think there's going to be that many active players, to be honest. Unless it's something I could be very wrong. There'd be like fucking 500,000 active players right now because it does have like a level editor and shit. So maybe I don't know. But I'm not expecting it to have a lot of active players anyway. I just thought that was like yeah. A little, kind of like the golden egg situation of like, what are the chances of winding up with the achievement now?
Yeah.
So,
I think my favorite dumb achievement like that. Actually, right,
uh huh.
that last one on this one. There's the other Stanley Parable.
Yes.
They have an achievement for not playing the game for the first time within 5 years
Mm-hmm.
after playing it the first time, and another one for playing it again 10 years after playing it the first time.
Has anyone actually got that achievement yet? I guess you could
So I've
maybe.
seen people get the five.
Yeah. Okay, so um, let's see. Let's go into a homebrew of the week section. What do we got?
Okay. This week I didn't even have to come up with the name because I saw it on the wall at the museum.
Uh huh.
Like 2000s cool. Did you see that board of dinosaur names and where they were discovered on the
Yes.
near the Allosaurus skull?
Yep.
There was one on there. Now I don't know why it was called this. I think it's love. It is a great name. There's a dinosaur which someone decided to call the Xenoposeidon.
Okay.
That's I've looked it up. It's a real. It's a real as well. They believe it was a real dinosaur. They found a part of a skull at least. Um, it's basically a big sauropod, and I wanted to make the like, just make the Xenoposeidon a real thing because its name is too cool not to use,
Yeah.
frankly. Um, they actually just came up with a big um, semi-aquatic sauropod that would just there's some this is the fiction bit, but there are some weird water insects that are very real that can I don't know how they do it, but they can just shoot. And fishers do it too. Like basically, they shoot streams of water sort of really precisely to shoot insects out of the air and eat them.
Wow.
I just sort of wanted to give it a fantastic. Nature's weird. I wanted to have a fantastical version of that,
Uh huh.
so I made it. Gave this big old dinosaur the ability if it can store water. and its cheeks for a bit because it's the size of a small house.
Yeah.
It's got like fire hose strength with it. I just wanted to have like a very silly, fantastical ability that would justify calling it Poseidon in any way.
Mhm.
It's a really decent, yeah, it's a different kind of dinosaur that I kind of wanted to write a base because the name was simply too cool not to use. And I just think it'd be a really funny addition to people expecting just a regular sauropod and just shoots water like a fire hose at you just once or twice a day.
Mm. It's a dragon. No, that's not a dragon. That's a dinosaur. But it just like had a breath weapon. That's water. Oh.
It's not magic and it really hurt.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's what I got this week. I would have done something more fantastical, but the name was too cool. I had
Honestly, I get
I
it.
couldn't improve it too much, really.
So,
What have you got this
so
week?
we've got 5 this week. Don't worry, because they're all variations on the same thing.
Oh,
So it started with a conversion and then got a bit weird because I wanted to make a few variants. So we're starting off with the barrel
okay.
spider from Kingdom Hearts 1, which is in itself a variant of the pot spider.
Right.
So a medium elemental, sort of 12 AC, CR2 little guy, climb speed because, yeah, as spider climb because it's a spider. It mimics a wooden barrel, so it has advantage on stealth until it's attacked or it moves. Once the barrel is broken, stealth is weight and line has advantage on stealth checks as it repairs its barrel because it like breaks out of the barrel to do the thing. They are explosive though. They are because they're like gunpowder barrels.
Oh, that's fine.
So if you set them on fire, or with 50, yeah, if you kill it, or when it's if it's on fire with 50% or less of its hit points remaining, it will blow up. Dealing 2d8 fire damage to everything in a
Oh
5-foot
dear.
radius of it. Halved on a successful DC 15 dexterity saving throw. So basically, don't set the fucking thing on fire, and don't be near it when you kill it, because it will blow the fuck up.
Okay.
And that's this is the basic version. And the reason I started
Oh
this
dear.
is because our second version is called the Home Brewery Spider, which is our new logo for our Homebrew of the Week. Which, if you look at, yeah, the
Oh,
Home Brewery
that's
Spider.
the time.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's the
That's
Home Brewery.
a,
He is our
it's a
mascot
good
of Homebrew of the
little guy.
Week.
Oh, seen him. Okay.
He's on the stream. Yeah, yeah. So the Home Brewery Spider. Let me get on his back on his thing. Has slightly higher armor class. Is a little bit quicker. Is a little bit bulkier, and is CR3. They are disguised as a microbrewery barrel. So they are. So if you've ever been to a microbrewery, you'll know that like, you know, regular breweries have those big like kegs. You know, those big massive barrels, but microbreweries have like a barrel the size of a normal barrel that they just, you know, it's a micro version of the thing. So they're usually found in breweries or like taverns and stuff like that. It is still flammable, but they don't explode because it's got beer in it rather than thingy. But because it's, you know, alcohol, it's really flammable. It will take, if it's set on fire, it will continue to burn until it dies, dealing 1d6 fire damage on each of its turns. If on fire, its attacks deal additional 1d6 fire damage. I put until it dies specifically because I believe alcohol is it. I think it's like alcohol fires aren't easy to put out with water or something.
That is true. Yes, it's chemical fire.
Yeah. Creatures hit by an attack made by this creature must make a DC Constitution saving throw. Creatures that fail the save become drunk, aka the poison condition, for an hour or until cured.
Oh,
The timer of this effect stacks. Note, alcohol takes 1 hour per unit to leave the body. If the timer reaches 10 or higher, the inebriated creature starts taking 1d8 poison damage at the start of each of its turns. Up to the point where they go from being drunk to being, like, starting to take fucking, like, alcohol poisoning, basically. So don't get too drunk, because you'll literally die of alcohol poisoning. As a standard claw, but it can also do something called Hail of Beer. Creatures within a 30-foot radius must make a DC 15 dex save. Creatures take 3d4 acid damage, halved on a success, because weirdly, alcohol is also slightly corrosive sometimes. Particularly as it gets more
It
oxygenated, obviously it
is.
becomes an acid. No, this covers the area and failing save creatures with alcohol, which is highly flammable. I haven't put any specific stuff about, what happens to a creature if it's set on fire after being covered in alcohol, because that's more of a generic DM's discretion thing. But yeah, it's just
Yeah, that's fair.
big beer barrel guys that will make you drunk and cover you in beer. Next up is just a metal version. So they disguise as metal barrels. They have, it thinks it's an iron golem. Metal barrel spider is immune to fire damage, heals equal to the fire damage it would have received and has a mutable form. So it has that part of it. So it's still CR3. Has the spider climb thing. These are also even faster. Because metal. They are disguised as metal barrels. This also explodes, but they explode like a frag grenade because metal exterior. So they explode like a giant frag grenade. So they deal the same amount of fire damage as the regular barrel spider, but they also deal piercing damage as well. And creature that fails the save get a level of bleeding on top of that. Bleeding would be some I've established in like other homebrew stuff, like the big website thing that I've done, that bleeding deals an amount of damage equal to the level. It's like, I think it's like 1d4 per stack of bleeding, basically. It can also knock things prone, this guy.
Okay.
But yeah, that's another variant. Then we have the honeypot spider, which is CR4, so we're going up in leagues, because I did all this because unlike a lot of things in the Kingdom Hearts series, the barrel spider doesn't have a lot of canon variants, which is kind of a shame because they're really interesting. So they have the ability Sticky. Basically, like how I think it's gelatinous cubes, like if you are trying to attack them with certain things, your weapon will just get stuck in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Just
Oh,
your axe is stuck in this honey barrel. Congratulations. They can also cast slow up to twice per day using Wisdom as its spellcasting modifier. So they are a caster of a sort. They have healing sugar, so as a bonus action they may heal an allied creature in front of it by feeding it some honey. Once defeated, some of the honey remains, and 1d6 portions can be using healing 1d8 hit points. So there is an element of, okay, these guys are assholes, but if you manage to kill one, you can grab some healing honey out of it. But these guys are the only I think these guys are the only variant that these guys are one of two variants that has multi attack because they're higher thingy. They also have ground pound, which is ground pound has a less of a chance to hit, but it deals a boatload more damage. So it's like 3d8 plus 4 bludgeoning, which is quite a bit in a single attack at that kind of level. It can also shoot honey globes at people. Single creature must make a DC 16 dex save. On a failed save, their move speed is halved until they expend an action to clean thick honey off themselves. Basically, these are more of a control enemy that exists to slow you down and make you less effective in combat. And also heal their allies because they're an asshole. They're also very intelligent. They actually have, compared to the others, they have like 16 wisdom, so that they are, they're more sort of, I guess, plotting predators, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally we have
that makes sense.
the battery spider, which is disguised like an industrial battery, not like a car battery. There's like really big batteries that are used for like reserve power in like factories and stuff. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Big. But they may cast Lightning Bolt using Intelligence as a spellcasting modifier as a single charge of this. The Battery Spire heals instead of taking lightning damage. If it heals 20 or more hit points this way, it regains its charge of Lightning Bolt. So don't use lightning damage on it, because it will come straight back to you in the form of Lightning Bolt. And it may make 2 claw attacks, or 1 claw attack and 1 Thundara. Thundara being a spell from Kingdom Hearts, aka thunder comes down from the fucking sky.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's my homebrews of the week. All these will be available in a minute. 5 different variants of the Kingdom Hearts barrel spider that really they should have done, to be honest. Because I like the barrel
Okay.
spider. It's one of my favorite Heartless of all time. They just look cute, little barrely guys. Um, so I will upload these from the homebrew file. As soon as I completely will find it. I'll do it after the stream. I'll do it after the stream. Right. Where are we at? Right. Okay. I think one last segment before we finish up. We haven't
What?
done our sounds like gaming segment in quite some
We
time.
haven't.
Do you have you been listening to any
Mm.
cool music lately? You're like, yes.
I have actually. This is something I listen to quite a bit every now and again.
Hmm.
I'm trying to find the exact name of it. There's a few. There's a few tracks in that are really quite funny. So the weird Echo the Dolphin remake has some brilliant. Like, if you want just some really chill vibes or underwater music, it's got some amazing little tracks. Just trying to find some of the best ones. Um, but the names are a little bit arty farty, but that's kind of how the game is.
Hmm.
Sort of always got a
I
not environmentalist message, but it's
hmm.
definitely got that,
So I
you know,
remember
that
playing.
vibe.
I remember playing Echo the Dolphin. I think it was on the Sega Game Gear, the Sega Game Gear version. I was like, yeah. I couldn't figure out how to play it because I was like 8 at the time, and this Echo is a weird game. If you've ever played video games before, Echo feels very different to I think most games I've ever played because you're controlling a dolphin, so you're swimming around. So it's like it's a 2D platformer underwater, but you're a dolphin. Bit weird. But go on, sorry.
I think with the dog trying to get in.
Oh.
Um, Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Never mind, he's in. Hey, Merlin, do you want to come? Want to come on the show?
Oh,
You
see,
trying to check?
I said it in the Winterfest segment. It's not a Christmas special without a dog.
There he is. Just want to check out the room, I think.
Oh.
No, the best track in the game, I think, is called the Hanging Waters. Because the level's called.
Mhm.
It's, it's got this really chill sort of like synth vibes,
Yeah.
and the drums are all like these crazy tribal drums.
Mm.
Really, really lovely song. What else is there? There's a few. There's one called Shrine of Controversy that I think is a fantastic dramatic. It's almost like the level's like an underwater church, so it sounds choral and epic and a bit forlorn because it's like the first future
Mm.
you go to where everything went wrong. Very, very
Mm.
cool bit of music. Um, what else is there? Wish of Dearth is quite interesting. Basically, like a um, right. It's got some vaguely Middle Eastern style Spanish guitar picking going on
Mhm.
with some really good like synth and like sort of synth orchestra beats that's sort of going on in the background. So you've got this really nice mix of like the guitar's going nuts, but the orchestra is really playing the bass line for the whole thing is quite nice.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and what's another one? Yes, Caverns of Hope. There's another good one. Um, yes, but basically the boss fights for that particular section is a fantastic, frantic sort of tribal drum feel to it. Well, a lot of the tracks later on, they get the tribal drums in.
Mm.
Um, Incredible soundtrack, especially Hanging Waters, because it's just got this really nice, relaxing vibe to it.
Mm.
So it's like a slightly more amped up version of what music was playing in the museum, like in the near the geology section.
Oh, I don't remember, but I remember what you. I don't know what it was called. I don't know what the name is, but I do remember. Yeah.
It has this vibe of really chill museum music with a bit of a rush on. And it's quite nice. I think it's a crying shame it didn't. Don't know if that game won awards for its music, but it should have
Hmm.
because it is in fact that good. Um, yeah. I listen to that quite a bit.
Hmm.
The other one I swear by sometimes for a joke is the different reaction is oh, pardon me, I'm gonna cough out. I don't know if you've played it, but there's a really interesting bit of music for. I know. Have you ever played the game Altered Beast?
I played a tiny little bit of it on the Sega Games Collection, but I couldn't really
Yeah,
get into it.
it's a strange one. Um, so what if I told you there was an edgy 2000s version of that game, and it's surprisingly okay?
Mm. Okay. Right.
I played it a lot on the PS. Played it a lot on the PS2. Um, and I remember that it had like one bit of music for the opening theme, proper like Halloween music theremin style instrumentation. It's quite a good
Okay.
theme.
Hmm.
Um, for what it's trying to do. Like, hmm, yeah, Project Altered Beast. Um, that's what they called it. A lot of it's quite um like atmospheric music.
Hmm.
So it's not that much to talk about, but the opening theme is actually surprisingly good.
Hmm.
Let's have a look. I'll try and find it. I'll drop a link to it because it is just legitimately good. Um, it's a shame that the game is a little mid
Hmm.
because I swear it was like perfect for I want to say the DeviantArt generation, if you catch my drift,
Oh no.
because it. Now here's the thing: it goes like full on American Werewolf in not Paris, American Werewolf in London style. The transformations are really gruesome on purpose, but it plays it straight and it works without being overly cheesy, which I quite like.
Hmm.
Do you remember the game being balls to the wall hard? The controls weren't amazing. It's kind
Hmm.
of a shame because I remember thinking the game was pretty good.
Hmm.
Again, just a really weird attempt at modernizing a game that I don't know needed to be modernized, but I was quite surprised by it. Um, yeah, so I'll have to leave it at that. I think.
Uh-huh. Okay. So did I ever talk about um specific Final Fantasy music, but specifically as it pertains to live Final Fantasy music, if that makes sense?
And no, but I've seen a few orchestral versions of
Yeah.
the earlier bits.
So I think like some of the music from Final Fantasy VII is really, really good for like tabletop stuff, but specifically the like
Yes.
full orchestral versions rather than the midis. Because I was at a I've been to a few orchestral things. I think I've been to two separate Final Fantasy renditions by the one of the Birmingham orchestras, and every time I hear like the live full orchestra version of that Victory fanfare, I just go yes. It's just like pure like dopamine into the brain like it's like yeah, there it is. Whoa.
Did
Just
you see? I don't know if you saw the Tokyo Olympics. And
no.
naturally, they had that. The people were coming out. It was amazing.
No, but I did see. I can't remember what the name of the actual thing is, but they did like a live version of. I think what is it actually called? Uh, is it what is it? Final Fantasy. Hang on a minute. It was from Final Fantasy 14. What was it fucking called? Oh, what's it? Civilizations. Yeah, the original song named Civilizations from Shadowbringers, aka Lahi. So there's a very famous meme in Final Fantasy XIV called Lahi, which is you could hear this person going Lahi and then a bunch of like other words I think might be Japanese or something in this one track. So everyone like who's not Japanese just calls it the Lahi thing. But yeah, they did a live version of that song, but then part the way through, I think one of like the lead devs or maybe like one of the lead devs, or like maybe the original singer from there, comes in and starts doing the Lahi bit. It's just like, yeah, there it is. But the theme itself was also like really cool. Yeah. Yeah. Where is it? I will post the link for people to listen to afterwards because got copyright, you know. But it was really funny, but the song itself is actually really good. The context of it being in this like massive, almost like elven forest looking place. So you get that really like mystical vibe with this like lahi in the background. Funny, but once you get past the funny, really good song. And there's a bunch of stuff like that in 14 and the others where you hear like these really orchestral songs. And then so you hear the modern stuff and then you go back to the old stuff redone in the same orchestral style, like, yes. Anyway, I thought, yeah. Gushing a little bit, just, yeah.
No, that remind me of a really right. Front of the Echo stuff. Just remind me of one other. There's a really strange market theme for what's it called? So this piece of music to make any sense of it, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't know how they composed it, but it sounds like three pieces of music composed at the same time. It is confusing to listen to, but it's kind of great.
Uh-huh.
All right. Worst. It's in the game of worst video game music for some reason. I don't think it's that bad, but the opening is just pure chaos. Um, that's right. So the beginning is just like everybody playing at once, followed
Oh.
by a really nice bit of music actually. Actually, this would be funny actually. If we could just get a live reaction, just mute it. Listen
Okay,
to like the
maybe.
first 10 seconds of the thing I'm about to. I've just posted it now.
Okay.
Just the
I
first seconds.
Yeah, we won't be able to hear him,
Hmm.
our co-host, for a second, but I will have this a quick listen because I have to turn off the desktop audio basically. Okay, I'll give it a listen. Hang on a minute. Buying, yeah, buy. Bro, that feels like a tavern where everyone is a fucking bard.
Yeah, they're all. But then the song gets quite nice after that first 30 seconds. I've never seen anything in a game do that with music before this one, so it's kind of bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And I think the last thing I want to talk about is it's kind of a popular meme at the moment, but it's that bit from that movie called Eight Crazy Nights. If you've heard of it, you must have seen it on YouTube.
oh no, bumbity bitty bitty
Yeah,
bum.
and I'm like, okay, I've never watched Eight Crazy Nights once, so the context of what's going on is completely
You know
lost of
that.
me. But this whole section where this like police officer walks in, does this kind of weird crab dance to the tune of bomb biddy 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 bomb bomb. And then this other guy talks about wiping this guy wiping his ass with the wrong hand, and then suddenly this shirtless guy appears. Like, out of context, this is the weirdest
Yes,
fucking thing
isn't
ever.
yeah. Isn't that whole film about Adam Sandler's character being some loser dropout
Probably,
or
I.
failed basketball person, and then there's this weird little coach man, not a coach person. He's literally a basketball coach who's trying to get this local coach award. You know, it's star shaped or something.
Uh-huh.
He's been trying to get it his entire life, and he's all very, very sad that he didn't get it. So then they start singing "Bum Biddy 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 Bum" massive because the coach man is sad. I think that's the context.
So even in context, it's just as weird.
Yes.
Even in context.
Hell.
So yeah, but I thought, it being the Christmas special, apparently it's a Christmas movie. There's a Christmas thing or Hanukkah going on in the background, which is
No,
vaguely festive, in a sense. Different religious holiday, but still
I
at
think
the
we need
same
to
kind of
up the
vibe.
bar for Hanukkah movies.
Yeah, it's just this weird. I like how it just became a meme, just basically out of nowhere, without any context.
Shirtless man doing a little Cossack dance
Yeah.
to bomb biddy 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 bum bum. Yeah, it's, yeah. I have unfortunately seen that movie.
Anyway, that's that segment. And I think that's where we're gonna
Yes,
have to end
I'll
off
leave you.
because it's
Yes,
it.
I'll leave you with the thought that while you're celebrating over Christmas, beware of the Yule lads, mythological Yule lads, especially my personal favourite,
The Yule
Björn.
lads.
I'm going to say this. I said that right. Yep, real Christmas mythology, by the way.
Snip snip.
Björn, effectively, it's called Sausage Swiper.
Oh.
He hides in the rafters and snatches sausages that are being smoked. So between the dates of the 20th of December and the 2nd of January, watch your sausages.
Uh-huh.
I can give you a whole. If you want to watch out for the Yule lads all December, I'll give you the list for them. Apparently, they have rules. These Yule lads.
Oh.
Bit of light reading.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at that guy. Look at him. So he wants them sausages. Amazing. So so we will yeah, be we will be taking a break, I think, until the 5th of January at the earliest, I think, because the 22nd and 29th are a bit like, very close to, very close to being, and then very close to after Christmas, where like a lot of things happen. So I think we'll take a break till. So we'll
That's
see
fair.
you guys literally next year. Literally next year, folks.
Next year.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a good
Well
one.
done, you like sausages.
So,
Put them
um,
in chat. Put that in chat. Oh dear.
so from
Yes,
Byzantian
have a good
Brewscast,
one.
we will wish you a very Merry Christmas or Happy
And to all,
Hanukkah,
good
wonderful
night.
Kwanzaa, etc., and a Happy New Year in advance. Have a lovely festive season, whatever you're doing. Or nothing is also fair. And we shall see you guys soon. We will go to raid the Noble One. He is one of the three wise men, probably. So,
Ooh.
so, um, we're gonna have a set different raid message today. We're gonna go. So you can get the emotes with channel points, but we're gonna go Goose Raid, run again,
Jeez.
and then it's gonna be. Do you have any frankincense or myrrh for us? And then just don't give any contents. Don't give any context whatsoever.
Oh my god, there's miniatures of the mule lads.
Oh, there's miniatures. What do you
My miniatures
mean?
of the mule lads.
Oh no. What? Okay. Anyway, we will see you guys soon. Bye bye. Have a lovely time.
Yes.
Get many
Bye.
good presents and bye.
Have a good year.